Hi there. Today we're going to do something a bit different. We're going to look at not 2 or 3 kits, but 5 actually. We're going to talk about the R34 Aoshima lineup. So these kits first appeared in 2004 with the base model, which I don't have here, and Nismo Z-Tune in its first release. In 2005 we saw the release of the MCR version. 2007 the Nürburgring edition was launched along with Sea West version. And finally in 2009 we got the Mainz edition. As far as I can gather, these kits are still being produced, at least most of them, from the Aoshima or Aoshima lineup. There are a few notable additions that I do not have here, and those are the pre-painted versions. So they're not really snap kits. Their complexity is on par with these kits. The only difference is that they are pre-painted. There are some alternatives from Tamiya and Fujimi to these kits. Tamiya makes the base model in the V-Spec 2 version and the Nismo version as well. Fujimi makes a few versions, I think more on the side of the stock or factory builds, not so much custom versions like we have here. There are other versions from Aoshima as well, which I don't have, but let's look at these for now. So these kits sell for around 30 to 50 euros, with the pre-painted versions being more high priced. Some of these kits are still being in stock. You can still find them in stock. These kits were re-released over the years. I think the latest release was for the whole lineup, or most of the lineup, 3 or 4 years ago. And so yeah, you can still find these in 2025. They are pretty much in demand because the R34 is such a popular car, but given that you have all these options, not just from Aoshima, but also from Tamiya and Fujimi, given that you have so much variation to choose from and so many options, it is not a kit that is too much demand. Meaning that there is some demand, but yeah, there's also a lot of offer out there. So these kits are built with a modular design, meaning that the maker can reuse tooling. And so you'll see, although they represent different cars, the base for most of them is the same. They have similar parts that they share between them because that makes manufacturing easier. So as I said, parts are mostly the same. You can build the base R34 out of any of these kits, I think. So besides the custom parts, you also have the normal parts for the base model, so you could also build that. These kits are quite complex. They have a lot of parts. They have a lot of steps. There are a lot of steps involved in building them. They are not easy kits. They're not snap kits, so quite complex. These are very popular kits. From what I've read online, the overall sentiment is that they are pretty good. They are not quite beginner friendly. There are some fitment issues. I would say they're not on par with Tamiya quality fitment, but they are better than Fujimi versions of the R34. And out of these kits, I would say that the general feeling is that the Nürburgring version is one of the best, and Mainz edition if you want a customized version of it. On the other side, or at the other end of the scale, you have the Sea West kit, which is more complex to fit. There are some issues there that people complain about. These are curbside models. They do not have openable doors or hood or even engine bays. So if you do want an R34 with a engine bay and more detail like that, go for the Tamiya version or the Fujimi versions, especially the enthusiast lineup. Or if you want to have an Aoshima kit with a engine bay and detailed engine, you could always find a second-hand Tamiya R33 or R32 kit, maybe one that is damaged or started already, and just take the engine out of that and use it in one of these kits. So let's have a look at some of the kits. This is the Skyline V-Spec 2 Nürburgring edition. The box art might fool you into thinking that it's a pre-painted model. The pre-painted model have a logo on the top left corner on the box stating that it is a pre-painted model. So we have the decals and masking for the windows. You have some chrome parts like the headlights and brake disc, taillight, and exhaust. These look pretty good. They actually look like chrome, not silver or brushed aluminum. Taillights and signals. You normally have two types of rims with these kits. You have the standard R34 rims. If you choose to use them, maybe you like that look better. You also have the rims for the Nürburgring edition. Standard street tires with, I think these are license plates and actual springs. And here we have the interior, seats, windshield wipers, and some undercarriage parts. They look pretty good. There's minimal flash, not a lot of issues with this. Well molded, very good quality. Nothing to complain about. Here we have the body. Looks pretty good. As I said, the quality is pretty good, but the fitment is not quite on par with Tamiya quality. Here we have the rear bumper. I think this is for the Nürburgring edition. Not quite perfect, needs a bit of work, but it is doable. I think this is the standard rear bumper, which fits a bit better. And here we would have the rear bumper that we saw, hood and front bumper for the V-Spec 2, and finally the manual. These are pretty good, pretty detailed. Not a lot of actions in the same step, which is good. It is in English as well, and it's very much very straightforward, I would say. There's no need for cutting for this kit, so it looks pretty straightforward, and also shows you what parts you're not going to use, you're not going to need for this kit. So here's a look at the Mainz edition of the R34. Again, we have front bumpers and rear bumpers. This one has an extra front bumper. I guess it's slightly different for the Mainz edition. Some chrome parts, I'm guessing the mirrors here. Small spoiler with the hood. The body is the same. There are no changes from the base model. Quality is the same. As I said, you can also build the standard R34. Have the wheels here with the special rims for the Mainz tuned version. Have some decals, some meshing, masking for the windows, and of course glass pieces, including the tail lights and signal lights. Interior and yeah, mechanical parts that we saw in other kits. Chrome parts, again, exact same parts. They look pretty good. I would probably strip the chrome off of it and repaint them, but yeah, to each their own. And manual shows which parts you should use, or which parts you should discard to build the Mines edition. So let's have a look at the MCR version. Should be pretty much the same thing. Have a different hood here. The rear bumper looks to be the same, no difference there. Different rims and chrome parts. Glass parts look identical. Interior looks to be the same, different mirrors, and the rear lights look to be somewhat different. Some more chrome parts and a different front bumper, which I think looks really good. Again, there's no major issues here with any flash or anything like that. The molding looks pretty good. Also have the spoiler parts here. The body is the same, R34, as we saw before. Nothing different with this. Have the underbody here, signal lights, tires, and springs. Pretty standard stuff. Some decals with masking for the glass. These are of course different. The decals, I mean. Manual looks to be the same. We see all the different parts that we should ignore, I guess. Yeah. So let's look at the Nismo version. I'm guessing this is more of the same. Parts list. This looks to be a bit older. I think it's one of the first kits that were ever launched by Aoshima. We have a different decal here, but the chrome parts and tail lights look to be the same. Glass parts are exactly the same. No changes there. The body is molded in something that looks like metallic gray, which is different, but it's not. The shape of it is exactly the same. R34, base R34. No difference there. Interior parts and some meshing that looks to be the same. The hood is yeah, Nismo hood. Rear bumper, front bumper, rims for the Nismo version, and tires with the underbody and some mechanical parts. And last but not least, the Sea West version. Again, it shows you what parts to discard. I'm not going to go over the instructions, they're the same. Different decals with, I'm guessing, the same masking. We have the chrome parts, meshing, and some light parts. Glass is the same, nothing different here. Body pretty much the same, yeah, identical. There's no difference here. The front bumper is different, however. It is, of course, for the Sea West body kit. I want to say wide body, but it's not really a wide body. Different rims, of course. These look pretty good. It's more of a brown gold, but yeah, pretty good as they are. No need for stripping the paint unless you want a specific color. Here we have some metal parts. This is new. I think these are, the canards or the dive planes that come on the front bumper. Other than that, we have the standard interior parts. This is the hood that is different. Rear bumper looks to be different. Side splitters, and the wing is different. And here we have the underbody, turn lights, tires, springs, and some mechanical parts. These are, I think they are the same with the base model. So in conclusion, these are some of the options that you have from Aoshima regarding the R34. These kits are pretty good. People are pleased with them. They're not quite beginner friendly. I wouldn't recommend this as your first kit. Maybe do a few kits before starting one of these. They're not very complex, but they do have a number of parts, so yeah, some complexity there. If you want a kit that has an engine, look for Tamiya's or Fujimi kits. If you want one that is easier to assemble, maybe go for Tamiya. If you want a kit that you really want to customize and you're experienced, you have some skill modeling, go for Fujimi. And if I were to choose between these, I would probably go for the Mines. I think it's quite balanced. The tuning parts are not too much in your face, and they're also the stance of the car looks really good once finished. And I think any of these are really good to pick up, but yeah, it depends on your preference. I definitely recommend these kits. Okay, that was it. Thanks.